Today we're going to go over 5 strategies for at-home learning. Stay tuned. Hello, this is Catherine with Catherine Motivates, and we're talking about 5 key strategies that you can use at home for your kids to be online learning, doing their homework. And I wanted to, give the confidence to the parents, because I think what ends up happening is we feel like, oh, they need a teacher. Oh, I can't teach them. Or, oh my gosh, my kid isn't learning. So I think there's just so much stuff in our own heads and our own expectations. And we need to remember, what is the goal? Our goal is to have our kids learn, right? So if they're not learning in the conducive way in the classroom, right, or they're not at a desk, or it's not quiet around them, we need to be open to different strategies. And so again, let's just get started with the 5. So the first strategy is setting up a learning environment for your child. So what a lot of parents do is they set up either a desk, they set up an area that's secluded, and they put the pencils and the paper and anything their child needs so that they don't have to leave and they will stay focused, right? Are you guilty of doing that? Hey, I'm guilty of doing it. I thought, oh my gosh, perfect. This place, he can sit down and he can do his work. It doesn't always work, right? For some kids, my neurotypical, my daughter, boom, she's there. Okay, I get her a little drink, boom, she's done. My son, it doesn't really work. So what I ended up doing was we collaborated. I'll use that word a lot. We collaborated. We talked. We didn't finish what the discussion was in one afternoon while he's learning. No, we ended up finding places that he felt comfortable. It could have been he was laying down on the carpet the other day learning, right? I've seen kids under the kitchen table. I've seen kids walking around outside on a beanbag. I mean, we need to be open to these kids who have these sensory conditions that we want to make sure that they're finding when their brain works and where it works. So I had a situation where I had a student and we were outside and she wanted to go ahead and do it out on the patio. Okay, well, mom was inside, and I know at the same time her big dog was walking around. So the mom comes out and screams, "Get out," to the dog, because she thought the dog was a distraction. Then her daughter went and started reading. Well, she put a towel over her head and she starts reading with the towel. Again, none of this, I didn't second guess anything. I'm like, this is how she feels comfortable. But guess what? As I'm teaching her, she's answering the questions, she's reading, we're corresponding and communicating back and forth, and mom comes out and says, "Get that towel off your head." And I just was like, she's okay. So again, we want them in a place where we want them. It always goes back to plan A, right? It's my idea. Do what I say. And again, let's work with our kids. Number 2 is the timing. I'm like the first parent who wants everything off my to-do list, right? Homework, done. But it's not necessarily what I'm saying. I know a lot of the timing was when you said, okay, let's get going, let's start your homework. And the kid doesn't jump and walk over there, right? It's 5 minutes later. They're in the middle of something. They could be playing a video game. They could be doing a puzzle. Slowly going to what you need them to do. ADHD kids need to process, right? They need to think it out. They heard you. They did hear you. And so in that collaboration, if it takes them a while to get there, I talked to my son after, and I said, you know what? It really bothers me when you don't just do exactly go do your homework when I asked you. And I'm telling you, these kids are so smart. These kids have a reason as to why they did not get up. They have a reason as to, and logically, normally, right? And some, yes, they are defiant, yes. But let's get them in a groove. Get in a groove with your child to say, okay, come on, what's going on? And again, not in the moment. I always say, when you have that little moment with your child is when you bring up your concerns. So again, timing. I always say, okay, if he's sitting there and he's not doing it or he's being distracted, I say, okay, I give him a goal. Like, you know what? We're going to be leaving for this in about an hour. Or, hey, what's going on? Do you need some help? No? Okay. So I kind of sit there in a way where I know if I will sit there if he needs me, or I will kind of keep a distant connection with him. And again, you know your child, what works. You know some of them do not want you right there with them, and that's okay. Others should need you there because they really can't get through it. But again, see what's going to work with your child. But my point is with the timing is to make sure that you're not on them because there's a reason in the why they're not doing it immediately. You may not even realize it, but again, number 3 is making sure is controlling that environment. Because sometimes we want to look at the environment and think, okay, a quieter place would be better for them. So they're not in front of the TV, or they're not distracting when I'm doing the dishes or anything like that. Sometimes when they are alone, it is more distracting for them because then their mind just wanders. So we need to look at not necessarily controlling the environment, but letting our child control the environment, right? Where do you think would be best for you? And again, this is not a one-time, one answer. It's a process, okay? It's a process. And we are going to be investment in the time because when they're learning this, they're learning about themselves. They're learning about what works for them. And as they think it out and we help them think it out, don't think for your own kid. Make sure that you're looking at helping them with options, but let them come with those options first before letting them know, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Let them try things. Let them fail in a way and let them see what works, what doesn't work. The next thing is what a lot of parents don't like to hear is actually reducing the workload. Maybe 15 problems is too much. Maybe it is. Talk to the teacher. They're really not getting it. They need that extra help. Maybe your child is on an IEP, an individual educational plan, and maybe you work something around there. Most teachers want children to succeed, so they want to see what works. And I think that is when you're communicating, the teacher's like, okay, how can we work together? And again, I know we get some teachers that don't do, but again, that's something that you want to look at. I do have a student that this did not work for because we said, okay, you only have to do 3 out of the 10, right? Well, she was embarrassed because when she went to school, she didn't have all the work completed. So she was embarrassed that all of her work wasn't completed. That's how she felt, and she wasn't being responsible. So again, work along with the teacher to see, hey, maybe, how can we work this through to make it easier for the student and the family, and ultimately for their class. And the last thing is we have to be real as parents. Number 5, we need to know if we are not the right people to be around our kids for their homework. It is what it is. I know that it has not been easy for my son and I to learn together. I know, and he's an amazing student, but when I'm around, it hasn't worked. So I know that I need to give him his space. I know when he needs me, he will come to me. But maybe I'm not the right person, and I wasn't at the time. My husband was better. Or maybe it's a sibling, right? Maybe it's a tutor. And there's tutors you pay for. Maybe you can get a free tutoring service. I don't know, but it's not always you, the parent. So look at different alternatives. And maybe your child stays late with the teacher or something of that sort. I mean, as parents, we're very resourceful. And the schools are very resourceful as well. So look around, find something. But again, it's okay, mom and dad, if you are not the right people to teach your kids. Remember the teacher? Yeah, they're the ones that are teaching. That's their job. So again, whatever you're doing, keep doing. Well, no, let me rephrase that. Keep trying. That's my point. Keep trying, mom and dad. Keep trying, parents. Keep trying whoever is trying to teach a student right now and listening to this video. Because you are enough. You are there. You love this child. You want them to succeed. And keep trying. Okay? I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Hope this helped. And if you like the video, please give me a like. Also subscribe and ring the bell so you can see what the next video is about. And please share it with a friend. Okay? See you in the next video. Bye.